I have opportunity to go through the books. It's a very great because of, he embraced what his experience dealing with Japan, and then experience of Prof. Zaini working with certain project with Japan, and then how the cleanliness has been, as a culture in the Japan society.
When I read this book, so many things that I did not notice or realize. So he has such an insight, and my take is when this is translated into Japanese, this would be a bestseller in Japan, I think.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Ohayo gozaimasu. So, Excellency Ambassador Shikata, Professor Shafri, Datuk Syaril, we have two distinguished persons here, Chief Representative of JICA, Ueda Daisuke. I traveled first time to Japan, sponsored by JICA. So thank you very much. And we have Director Kinokuniya Malaysia, Yuki Sakano. Thank you. And I would like to recognize the presence of my colleagues here, Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Mariam Skandar yang sama kita. I have also Tan Sri Zul, former CEO Petronas here, and my colleagues. I'm so sorry not to mention the name. I have my the eldest granddaughter, Wardah here. Wardah, come. So this is Wardah. She is 6 years of age. Yeah. So thank you. After listening to Ambassador Shikata, I think I just sit down here and waiting for your book to be signed. This is very important for me to recognize his contribution. The first page, on top of my name, we have His Excellency Ambassador Shikata as well. So he partly responsible for this book because. Okay, since I have some time to share with you, this is the. Can we run this? Okay. Japan inspires the world. Yeah, say for example, recently in World Cup, Football World Cup, not only Japanese cleaning the stadium, but also Portuguese fans cleaning the stadium, except Malaysian, because we have no team in World Cup, so we mess around. And people are trying to learn what best they can do in Japan. Yeah, so this is something that I would like to show you how Japan, in relation to cleanliness, really inspired others. What is this? So last year, as mentioned by Ambassador, I traveled around the world, 100 days, that until 26th of July. Today is 25th of July. So tonight I will celebrate after one year. So what is important during this trip, I observed countries I visited, 15 countries I visited. So I put 3 keywords for that country. So for Japan, I put discipline, harmony, and cleanliness. France, liberty, elegance, and joy. My friends in France, he has no property in Paris, but he tried to live elegantly, despite no property in Paris. And Britain, they have university. We are so proud, but still we send students. Our kids spend millions every year to send our kids to Japan, to Britain. And I had 3 times giving lecture in Japan recently. Prof, Prof Syamsul tu depan. This orang kampung saya depan tak ada orang. So during that session, I had difficulties to tell my colleagues from Japan about cleanliness, because cleanliness for Japan is very big words and cannot be represented by one single word. Yeah, I can explain later. So this is my lecture in Tsukuba. So for example, I had 3 lectures. One in Tsukuba, one is Tokyo City University, and the other one is Saitama Institute of Technology. The same topic. But this is very important. A book, can you find the book here? By Gilles Milton. The title is Samurai William. He traveled from Rotterdam to Japan in 1598. 1598, and he found that the nobility was very clean, pristine sewers and latrine, and steam bath. And he explained throughout the journey for 2 years, none of the sailors mandi, took bath. Yeah, none for 2 years. And when they arrived in Japan, they were shocked by the quality and the cleanliness in Japan. And at that time, sewer and latrines already clean on the street. 1598. That's no joke. And for Japan, during that time, it is common to have daily bathing. You can go to onsen and the rest. So this is typical about Japan. You can see this is not orchestrated in stadium or whatever. This is part of their life. They cleaned in school. This is kids cleaning. I've seen myself when I was in Japan recently. The floor must be swept, and then after that you have to use white towel. I'm not sure why this boy not using white towel to clean it. So it must be pristine quality in terms of cleanliness. So let's talk about it. This book talks about cultural discipline. And this book is also about stringent law enforcement, which is not happening in Japan. So there is no police around checking on people with collection and whatnot. So rather than relying solely on regulation and law enforcement, Japan nurtures values that encourage people to care for their surrounding willingly and consistently. This is something that only happening in, I think, from my observation in Japan. So, lesson for other nations. The first one begins with personal cleanliness. Don't talk about climate change. Don't talk about plastic in the ocean. Talk about your toilet first. Talk about your street first, rather than talking about something that others cannot do easily. And this must be translated into academic programs, and it should be what I mentioned about experiential learning. They have tokatsu, which is about 15 minutes cleaning procedures everyone must perform in school for 12 years. 15 minutes every day. So after cleaning your toilets for more than 600 times within that 12 years, so you will be able to clean toilets very easily. And start with simple things. Cleaning toilets, looking after your streets and whatnot. So in English, the words cleanliness and hygiene are two separate things. But in Japan, clean must be hygienic. If there is not hygienic, it is not clean. But in English, hygienic is different thing. Yeah, therefore, and on top of hygienic, you have to have tidiness. If it is clean, hygienic, not tidy, not clean yet in Japanese perspective. And it must be comfortable. The color, the ambient must be comfortable. And that makes the whole thing called clean in Japan. So to find a words in Japan is very difficult. There are 13 words for Japanese to describe cleanliness. So when I asked my colleagues from Tsukuba University, Professor Maki Sujimura, wait. And Professor Suzuki, these are all great professors from Japan on waste management, on environmental engineering. They had difficulties to translate this book into Japanese. There is a Japanese letter here. It's very difficult because cleanliness in Japan, whether you want to use sekatsu, shire, soji, or whatever, this is all cleanliness, but in different contexts. So when we discuss about the most appropriate terms to be used, and then I said I want the words outsider's perspective to be translated. So for Japan, there are 3 types of outsiders. One is what in English we call alien. Alien, you are nobody. You can describe anything you like. So that's alien. You can talk about Japan is good, Japan is bad, whatever. People take it lightly because you are an alien. The second point is enemy. So you are outsiders because you want to attack us. So we have to be very careful with you. The third outsiders means you are a third party. You have both knowledge, good and bad. So the definition in Japanese for an outsider's perspective, if you translate literally in English, is a third party perspective. Yeah, but for me, if to have a third party perspective is quite strange in English. So I use still. Therefore, if you were to translate this into English, Maki Sujimura, Suzuki Sensei, you have to work harder. They are editor to this book, okay? So these are 13 words describing the title. And you can see that in terms of waste management, Japan is top in the world. They do it very correctly. And this is the cleanliness index. This is what I've compared during my trip. There is another book launching. I'm now selling the book, okay? Kembara Dunia, there will be in English as well. This is about 100 days. This is about this journey. Yeah, so I gave 5 marks to Tokyo compared to nearest city is Doha. But you must remember, some of these are done by very efficient system. They have a lot of workers working on it. Yeah, say for example, on cleanliness of public toilets. But in Japan, there is no janitor. So they clean themselves. People clean toilets. I asked my friends, Japanese, especially from Tsukuba University, after they clean toilets and then they go out. It takes them about 5 minutes to do their work and then 5 minutes to clean the toilet. So 10 minutes. Okay, I compared with London, Boston, Istanbul, Stockholm, and Doha on full trash per hour. If you go on the street, you bring 5 liters plastic bag, try to find trash on the street for, this is the major street, and within 1 hour, you will not find rubbish enough to fill in the rubbish bag. This is type of trash bins. This is cleanliness of public toilets. This is drainage infrastructure, sewerage infrastructure, walking cultures, cycling infrastructure. I think this is shared by others except in Istanbul because it is hilly area in Istanbul. So why they can find fish on the street of Japan in a drainage system? Because they have 2 laws. One is sewerage law, the other one is jokasho law. So in Malaysia, we don't have jokasho law. If you want to improve our situation in Malaysia, so our drainage system is clean like Japan, we have to introduce this. You just imagine a ministry that in charge on sewerage system in Malaysia at the moment is Ministry Petra. Yeah, but in Japan, there are other 3 ministries in charge. And this is mainly Datuk Nazri, former Deputy Secretary General of the ministry. They have jokasho law. Yeah, so more than 50% of the sewage in Japan, especially in rural, they are fall into Jokasho law. Jokasho is high and very intense technology-driven septic tank. In Malaysia, septic tank is very poorly done sometimes. So this is what I realized. Tonkatse is a model, holistic education that it is based on experiential learning. It is not based on academic programs. There is no exam for cleanliness. We investigated the amount of pages dedicated to cleanliness and environmental related subjects from year 1 to year 6 elementary is only 17 pages. Of the books, this much. Yeah, so only 17 pages. The rest are all experiential learning. They do it themselves. So this is example, the yearly unit hours of subject. This is all in the book. They spend time on Tonkatse only about 34 hours a year. Yeah, compared to, say, for example, reading 300 hours, maths 156, life sciences and whatnot. So it's very minimal on time allocated in class. But because the delivery is through experiential learning, it is more powerful. Yeah. So this is example. The cleaning subject is only 15 minutes a day. So this is my explanation why Japan is so good, as mentioned by the ambassador just now, because of three things. One is the culture. The other one is the practice that translated the culture into real practice. And finally, on the modernity. So if I put it this way, the culture, say, for example, a personal cleanliness, they take shower regularly. Not many people take shower. You go to China, you go to European countries, they take shower occasionally. But in Japan, religiously, almost every day. Yeah? Am I right? Ambassador. Community cleanliness, respect for shared spaces and facilities, and teaching cleanliness. So then they have practice. If you are not able to do it yourself, you can hire a consultant. You can hire a KonMari consultant, Marie Kondo. Minimalism. So you don't have to have too many things, no? Or you have 5S in your office, removal of shoes before going indoors, 7 minutes Shinkansen cleaning ritual, modern public toilet with washlets, and limited public trash with 3R bins and whatnot. So this is on practice. Everyone is practicing. Not even a single person excluded. Everyone doing it. And then they have the modernity. This is recycling and waste separation, advanced sanitation system, low carbon society, zero discharge, and the rest. So when we talk about big things, climate change and whatnot, they are here. Yeah. So you must do this first before you enter this one, because this is easier. Why Japanese can do it very easily? Because they have done number 1 and number 2. And number 3 is just part of the whole system. So for me, from personal cleanliness to public and planetary health, we have to start here first. Public cleanliness, environmental sustainability, and planetary health. It means that when you talk about global treaty and whatnot, not only ambassador and probably some professors and some NGOs are part of the whole thing. But the rest of the people are here and here. So they should be involved. And for me, if we have Tonkatse for Japanese ecosophy, we can develop Tahara from Islamic ecosophy. So this is what I have in mind and mentioned by him. We have many common things between Japan and Malaysia. It's okay. Start with clean toilets and clean streets. That's what my observation. So before you end your things in your toilets, clean it first, and then you go. And this is my conclusion. Start small, cleaning instead of carbon credit, understandable climate action, walking instead of EV, focus on easy delivery, river trails instead of carbon capture and storage. Habitual, not behavioral. Habitual is automatic, you do it regularly. Behavioral, you do it with conscious mind, require a lot of incentive, a lot of punitive actions and whatnot. Very difficult. And this is what I learned from Japan. With that, I want to end with a poem. There is a poem here, and I wrote this poem 2018, November 22. Yeah, the title was Japan is Clean. Japan is clean because cleanliness is not enforced. It is inherited. It is the soul and the way of life. Thank you very much.